everybody, Mike Geary here for Geek Pride's Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign, The Legend of Our Sacrifice. With me tonight, we have Conrad as Arno Jerkel.
Howdy doody.
Michael as Tharval Eldon.
Greetings, adventurers.
Jace as Brother Gadden.
How are you doing, your service citizen?
Lecky as Bartholomew Pringle.
I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice.
Marcus Lance.
Hey.
And Vic is Saren Sanguine.
Indubitably.
Indubitably. Right, okay. As those here watching my screen will see, I updated the paths on World Anvil, so there's more red lines across our map going to Alamore, back from the Somnium Enclave off to Alamore and back. For you guys who are not watching my screen yet, I have to use the theater of the mind. Okay, so last week, Conrad was away. So I did an impeccable job as Arno. Impeccable, he informs me. In fact, he's so much so that he's happy for me to do anything I want with them going forward, should he not be here.
I just need to make sure not to miss another episode.
Okay. Okay, so last weck we had a... Oh, let me stick the tavern music on. Why not? So last week, Tharval and Saravel were trying to still escape from being taken by the City Watch for a murder they did not commit. It was not me, it was the one-armed man. Pretty much, there. Apart from that, I'm trying to think if there's anything extra. Oh yeah, Barty went home. He found out that his brother, his older brother, who was a bit of a tool, was found dead in his sleep, hit by his sister-in-law, Judith. His other brother is a bit of a local bum, doesn't really do very much, wandering around Alamore drinking, gambling and such. And his favorite brother, which was, what was your favorite brother called? Broderick. Has taken himself off to fight the corruption. He wanted to his brothers are all gone, and he decided he wanted to do something with his life, and has been persuaded to...
He could be.
Yeah, so being all he could be, and he's taken himself off to fight the good fight.
Spread liberty.
Spread liberty in the name of Freya and the Kyrelian Empire. So he's taken himself off to the fight. You've made your way back to the inn that basically you appeared in when you teleported there. You've realized that the guards were coming. Brother Gadden, in a not so clerical way, basically inferred that he's quite a promiscuous member of the cloth, has a penchant for elves, and that's why the guards saw elves with him, because, you know, he has a thing for them. So they've sort of kind of tottered outside to sort of stake out the place. And then Barty has used a cloth bag or something, I think, that Eldrith found, to teleport them all the way to a place called Whitewood. And Whitewood is to the southeast of Alamore and to the east of Starshield, which is a fortified city on the border of Kyrelia. So Whitewood is, I think, we're in Belmore, I believe. Yes.
Yes, it is. Across the border.
Yeah, just across the border. So we are in areas known to by Lance, who sort of came from this sort of, well, not came from this area, but obviously was attached to the Morning Star, Order of the Morning Star, yeah. There.
And Eldrith, of course.
And Eldrith. Oh no, she's Order of the Waning Moon. Eldrith's from Order of the Waning Moon. Okay, so let us do this. I will bring us back onto that. Right.
Before we,
Sorry.
I've got one really, really random tangent, but I have to do it now because it's the perfect time. So, Barty's favorite brother is Broderick, and you're Matt, and we're doing a Ferris Bueller's Day Out thing because you're Matthew and Broderick combined together. So, I just have to do this. I had to do it.
What are you still doing here?
I just-
It's over. Go home.
Or it could be, or it could,
We gotta do
or
that.
you
at the
could be
end
doing a
now.
Lion King.
You're gonna have to do that at the end. They're just gonna. What are you doing here? It's over. Go home.
Life
Yeah,
moves
I-
pretty
I'm done.
fast.
I'm done. I'm sorry. It's just a random tangent. I had to do it, and it was just there.
Bueller.
Bueller.
So wait, what we're doing?
Bueller. Bueller.
Right. Right.
All right. Okay. Okay. So, you have basically landed in this new city or town even. It's sort of early-ish in the morning, so you haven't been disturbed. You're sort of in the market district of the town, and that's where we sort of left off last week. So, Whitewood, you are in the market district. You're sort of within Belmore now. Your decision is, I don't know what you're doing from here, I guess. So it's completely up to you how you're going to make your way to Jorathrasta. Why you wanted to be here? Tell me, what are you doing?
So we here actually to see. We wanted to stop by and talk to the Order of the Waning Moon.
Order
No,
of the
Morning Star.
Yeah.
That was Lance's request, though. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, then I need to get permission.
Gathering information and intelligence and
Right.
seeking assistance.
So the local there. So let's have a quick shifty. I'll try and find a map for you guys to see, so everybody else can see that. We don't have names on your map though, so let me. So we got a region map for you. Where are we? Okay, so let's stick you here. Is that switched over?
Upside. I thought it was upside down there for a second.
Okay, so you are. Everybody else can stay on the World Anvil map, whereas you chaps. So if you zoom in, that little red circle. Oh crap! I've moved it around. Let's put that back again. There, and move on to layers. That red circle is where you are. Let's see. So there is a Order of the Morning Star watchtower to the west, which would be say half a day's walk. There is one to the east, which is about the same, I would guess. You have a one of their bastions to the south, which is the bastion Dula Belrak. You have the Sanctuary of Devotion, which is to your east, which is that sort of central monastery-looking thing, flanked north, south, east, and west by towers. And then there's some ruins in the north, just below the portal, called the Ruins of Stormwood, which there. So that's your options. I'm guessing within the village itself, there would or the town, sorry, itself, there would probably be some sort of presence from the order as well, I guess, as well. What's happening? What are you doing?
So I would presume to know that I would have a familiarity of where I could probably find a representative or a lookout in the general area of Whitewood. So I would probably want. So I would say that I would start off by trying to seek someone and let them know I'm about.
Okay.
Move forward from there.
Okay, so you're going to take yourself off to try and find somebody from the order or somebody you can talk to. What's everybody else doing?
I think
Uh,
Seren's going to stay in the marketplace. She's just going to sort of look around and listen and see what she can hear, see if she hears anything interesting. Anything of note.
Anybody else? What else?
And- The people on West Coast. But otherwise, I'm just gonna. Gan's gonna go to a temple.
Yeah,
If you
but
can
I just
find
need
one.
to do like a little bit of shopping. Shopping.
Ben.
Laravel and Serval are going to the library because nothing bad happens in libraries.
True.
Except when you guys go there.
Yeah.
I don't. I
You're
just
the
get
running
this,
connection here.
Yeah, this place seems kind of murdery. Does anybody else get that sort of feeling? Sort of little murder village.
Is it
Murder
Murder She Wrote? We're gonna see
Midsummer
Jessica
Murders.
Fletcher.
No, but they're probably going to have to do battle with librarian over some late finds that have been passed around by in the order of librarians or something.
Like the Bembridge scholars could never be so wrong. They knew that the Temple of Karnak was closed to the mortal realm.
Right.
That's a,
Okay.
it's a mummy reference.
All right. Okay. All right.
Nerd.
Nerds. Okay. So, Whitewood. We've got Tharaval and Zervel off to a library. Vic, who's going to just sort of chill out and sort of have a listen. Lance, who's going to take himself off to see if he can make contact with the Order. Brother Gaddon is going to try and find some sort of temple. Arno and Barty's doing some shopping. Arno, what are you up to?
Arno will. Well, what time? How long is this since I went into my ring?
Technically straight away, so you're still there, I would say.
Would I feel like it's safe to? Would anyone have said like it's safe to come out now? Or...
No, we're gonna let you wander. I'm kidding. No, we would have said something. We would have said something.
Arno will have heard the party kind of splitting up, and he will sort of Lance will get a little bit of a jolt and hear a bit of a rip from the pocket of his backpack as Arno materializes again within the pocket, and he picks himself up on the floor and off the floor. He says, "Sorry about that, friend.
How's your needle work?
I shall find a way to get it. Don't worry. Where are we now?"
We're in Whitewood. We have departed before our elven companions could be arrested for murder, which apparently they didn't do. And
yeah.
we're going to seek some information. We're going to see if we can seek assistance or information from the Order before we make our final decision. I'm just going to see if I can find the local representative to introduce myself and see if we can get pointed in the right direction rather than stomping off.
What did that's one thing I did think about. Your cup as well.
Yeah, it's in my. I've left it in my ring.
Yes, you've left the cup in the ring. What did we find out about your rate? What did we do about the cup last time? So we know that or Tharaval knows. Who did it tell? Who did we? Oh no.
Yeah, it was Sarvel and Serval. They found out that it was it a Shadow Walker's cup or something like that?
It's a Dreamwalker's. It's from the
Dreamwalker's.
Somnium Enclave.
Yeah, that was it. Sorry.
So and then we ended up telling. We ended up discussing it, and part of the reason why Queen Felicia wanted it so much was because Queen Alicia wanted it so much was because it was a relic, and she wanted to trade it in for something else, and that's why the halfling got murdered. So our conclusion was no, don't do it, and you're not going to get you cannot do that because otherwise, if we give it to them, we don't know if we risk putting the corruption back into the Somnium Enclave.
Well, obviously, I knew it was a Dreamwalker artifact because of where I got it from, but and I know it has some kind of magical essence to it, but I don't know what it does. But we haven't investigated that, have we?
No.
So,
not yet.
Okay.
And also,
All
we're
right,
sort of.
so now I will have left it in safe keeping in my.
Oh, in that case, thank for that prompt. As soon as he sees Arno come out of materialize out of from the ring, he's gonna look at the halfling, and then say, "So I heard that you tried to somehow get rid of this artifact that we kind of got from the Enclave."
I
I'm
did
kidding.
no such thing, Gavin.
It's fine, don't worry. Plenty of people have died over smaller trinkets. Don't sell it, don't get rid of it, keep it with you. Otherwise, we put the what's its face, the corruption back into the enclave because we can't trust anybody else but ourselves.
I never intended to do anything with this cup. I
But then don't
promised
give it.
earlier that I would enjoy my first drink with my brother with this cup, and until then, it would not be used. It holds a special place in my heart now, and
Good.
I will not see it gone for any reason.
Good. Then make sure that Darvel and Cerevel don't get a hand of it either, because it was at one point a little party favor. I'm kidding. No, I'm joking.
Unless
You're
they
fine.
can sneak their hand into my ring.
Does anybody want to question?
Oh!
You want to reach
Does
into
anybody
his
what?
ring? You want to
Off
reach
my
into his
ring.
Get off my ring.
Darvel
Oh,
spits.
they will
Darvel
not.
spits on his hand.
Arno glares at him, not like that. Fool.
Obviously, there wasn't much said to Arno about the halfling who was killed and the note, and obviously the inference that it was him who was sort of they were after. There's obviously things
Yeah,
need to
so
be
Arno would
discussed.
ask, then, did you find out who was after us? Were they genuinely after the cup, or was it me?
I don't really know. Wait, do we know? He just looks around.
We know little. Basically, Tharval and Cerevel will fill Arno in. Basically, that they tried to sort of gain information as to who was following them, but they basically got mind blasted by this guy eating nuts. So they know what he looks like, but they don't know anything about him. They don't know what he was following them for. But they'll inform him about the death of the because I think Arno would have seen not that Tharval and Serval actually knew it, but Arno would have seen them taking the other cup from the other halfling in the bar
Yeah,
because he
I
was
did
still
see
there.
that.
But I don't know what happened. He wouldn't have. I don't know whether he would have seen what happened outside.
No, that happened while I was still in the tavern.
Yeah. So
Okay.
basically, they'll fill him in on what happened to them. But as for the sort of background of the figure who was following them and who sort of set them up, they don't know. They don't know where he's from.
Arno will seem quite concerned. At first, he will be a little relieved that it was just someone trying to steal a cup. But then, when you say that a halfling was killed, he grows concerned again, and he will ask you for your description of this nut-eating guy. Matt, does this description of this strange man, is it familiar to me at all?
No, you've got an inkling that it's somebody to do with this sort of noble that you sort of.
That was just my mind running wild. So
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now, Arno's just trying to work out whether that was a.
Yeah, so it's nobody you haven't seen him.
That's fine.
You haven't seen him, and their description of him doesn't ring true to you
Okay.
at all at
That's
this
fine.
moment in time. Just on the by, where is it in Freya you and your family are from? Did we say what area you were from?
Yeah. So I'm from Pinecrest in Cragmere.
All right, yeah. That's all right, cool. Just need to confirm.
All right. So Arno will sort of listen to all this and hear where everyone's going. He looks to Lance and says, "Do you need a hand in convincing anyone of anything?"
I should hope not, bearing in mind that they're my colleagues, but
Very well. I shall then seek out the tavern.
just a matter of interest. The worry you had that they might have been after you got the cup, is there anything we should know?
Arno looks at his feet.
flicking his hair up, with blowing his hair up
No,
slightly.
no, he doesn't flick his hair up. He looks down at his feet and he says, "Probably," and then he walks off.
Puts his hood up, and his black and red jumper. And
I walk this lonely road
All
on
the bells on each
the
shoulder.
broken dreams. Where the city sleeps and I'm the only one.
So
I
Arno takes a few steps and he turns back and he says, "Let us meet later in the tavern.
I
shall
see him.
think on things."
I see him more as like
Yeah,
Kevin. Ugh.
See, no, I was hearing in my head. You know, the sort of like the piano music that they used to play when Banner was walking away at the end of the Incredible
Yeah.
Hulk episode.
Yeah.
There you go, just wandering off into the distance.
So I will sort of patter off looking for a couple of taverns in the local town, but on my way, sort of, yeah, I'll have my hood up and I'll be getting out my sort of disguise kit, and I will be making myself look fairly different.
Before Arno does disappear, he
Okay.
puts a hand on his shoulder,
Yep.
and says, "In case you get into any other sticky situations," he blesses him with he gives him a enhanced ability with wisdom.
You might as well just slapped him in the face.
Well, you know, there's a time and a place for that. There's a time and a place.
Thank you,
So
but I do not seek out trouble. It seems to.
no, it seeks out you.
Do not believe that is a trait that I'm the only one in this group to share.
No, but you're gonna be alone for a bit.
Darren looks
so
around like, me?
You're
And,
just
yeah.
go.
Okay.
So I'm guessing everyone will sort of spread different ways then.
Okay.
Yep, we will.
And I will just be, you know, like before, finding taverns, seeing if they look familiar to me from my dream, and if not, move on to the next one.
All right. So we're gonna start with We're gonna start with Saren. What is it you're sort of kind of listening out for? What is it you're sort of kind of trying to?
Anything that might be helpful to us, but also to me.
In what respect?
Listening for anything of any of the people that I used to sort of run around with. Any of the gang members, perhaps, that used to be in my background. Because now I'm with these guys, I don't really want them showing up on my doorstep.
Yeah, there won't be. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna find very much because you're from Elathia, so you're very much further
Quite
to
a way away.
Yeah, a way away, and I guess you would have sort of ventured into this area, but because the Order, the Morning Star, probably keeps a quite tight ship. Criminal activity in their land is probably minimal, or at least if it is, it's very underground and stuff. So
Nothing out in the open. to be
yeah,
heard.
there's nothing. There's, you'll hear conversations about the because they're obviously a lot closer to what's happening in the south. Worry about the corruption, maybe moving its way to the Bastion de la Barrack and it falling, like the village of Waterside. There's tales of some horrendous beast that was found sort of in that small village, you sort of hear little tales and things, and just general chit chat and worry.
Yeah.
And
General gossip and stuff about the situation.
yeah, nothing of any major note to yourself.
Okay. And then I'll just meander around looking at the market stalls, just kind of thinking about my experience in the enclave.
Okay. Barty, you wanted to go shopping again. What do you want to get?
Yeah, I just need a small silver cage worth about 100 gold pieces, so I'll be looking for like a jeweler or like someone with a little.
Okay.
trinket.
You sort of kind of wander around. Shops are starting to sort of open up again for the morning. It's not a massive town, but there is like a sort of market area, and there's a merchant, a sort of gold and silver sort of merchant with sort of rings and little things. And how big is the cage you're looking for?
Oh, he's tiny. It's like almost like a charm.
Okay. Yeah, and he's got sort of, he points you in the direction of some little sort of little charms, and there's one that sort of looks. Actually, roll me an investigation first. We'll see if you can find something. Make it not too easy for you. Roll me an investigation. I'll give you. It's not gonna be a thing. If it had been really low, it might not. But yeah, you find sort of something similar-ish to what you're looking for. And he, 100 gold. Yeah, that's 100 gold for the charm, and it's yours. Spits in his hand, and offers it.
Yeah.
I'll sort of like raise an eyebrow a little bit and like.
Sold,
Immediately, like,
sold, my friend,
my business.
sold. Geese, nice one. Right, there you go.
What a lovely piece of business and a beautiful piece of jewellery. Thank you very much. Tell me, the Carillion army haven't been marching around this way, have they?
He just sort of looks at you and says, a Carillion army, haven't been in here for a while. He's starting to think. He sort of ponders a bit, and he says, maybe a month ago, there was a detachment that came through here on their way down to the war in the south. Yeah, I'm not a huge. I wouldn't call it an army. I'd call it maybe a company or two. Couple of 100 men, nothing major.
Interesting. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for this.
No problem, my friend. Anything else you need, you let me know. Good deals can be done right here.
I'll have your fist in mind.
Cool.
Oi.
Anything else?
Nah, all good.
Okay, cool. Right. Who's up next? We're going to go for Brother Gadden. You are looking for some sort of shrine and or temple?
Yep.
Okay.
Doesn't expect it, but you know.
Yeah, it's it's a small. Roll me investigation. See if I can
Okay.
find anything sort of that sort of looks like that.
Into investigation. I think I'm not too bad with this. No, I'm shit. +1 modifier. No.
2.
Don't
Ah,
know.
that's a crit fail, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That is a crit
Is it?
fail.
Yes, it is crit fail. Yeah. Oh
Okay.
dear.
Ooh, interesting. What can we do with this?
He finds a brothel.
Yeah.
Couple of elves.
Yes. Oh, right.
Um,
All right. Yes. Okay. Cool. Right. You sort of make your way through the streets of the village. The town, and you're sort of looking for sort of telltale signs that it could be a sort of a monastery or a temple of some sort. You get the scent of like incense, and you start sort of kind of following it, thinking, okay, obviously that's sort of, temples, incense sort of go hand in hand. And you make your way and you find this sort of kind of small building. It looks sort of relatively temple-ish, so you make the assumption that this is the temple. So you just sort of kind of walk in, and there are sort of some tapestries around. It's very not super ornate, but it's quite nice inside. You're looking about and you're saying, yeah, it's kind of temple-ish, and you have a lady who's sort of dressed in this sort of kind of long robe, comes up and sort of looks at you and says, "All right, what can I do you for, love?"
Who's the patron here?
Oh, that
I
was.
assume it's not just.
Sorry, Carol.
No. You sorry, miss. After you. I'm just a bit excited.
Oh, the patron, you say? Oh, you're one of them, are you? Oh, the patron here is my Lord Bahamut. He's the Dragon Lord.
All right, then. Okay, so I guess I'm looking for a place to pray. So, or is there any monks around, or just people worship? Just here to have a chat.
Only he says, chatting it'll cost you extra, and she sort of holds out her hands.
I beg your pardon.
Oh,
Just
sorry.
looks at her slightly bewildered.
He says a donation for the church.
Insight check, please.
Okay.
This is normal. He doesn't know that. He doesn't think that they normally just like ask for money up front.
Yeah.
Especially when he's the usual kind. So yeah, he's gonna insight the hell out of this woman.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That was another. I thought it was another fail there for a minute. So this is odd. Like, this is really odd. It's like, nuns or wouldn't out and out ask for money, or you just from the strangers. She's speaking a bit weird to you anyway. This is very strange.
And he leans in he says, and he quotes scripture, and he says, "The light shine upon you if you are of good and just heart."
Oh, I could
Turn
be anything
away.
you want, my love. Cost you, though.
I just looks at her slightly. He's about to scorn, and he says, No. This is their way." He goes, "I was under the understanding that this would be a monastery or a place of prayer. I am a man of cloth," and just pulls out the very gaudy symbol of a Bahamut and says, "I actually don't partake in such things, so."
Oh, none of
I
them
do
do, none of
apologize.
them do, my love. But that doesn't stop them coming here. We've got a man of the cloth in one of the other rooms. You're more than welcome. We're all very very discreet here, even for a man of your stature. And I don't even know if I can call you a man, a lion of your stature. But by all means, we've got ladies who like a bit of a furry.
And then he just looks at her and he says, "Even then, I think I'm the one that should probably charge, considering my exoticism. In any case, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed our banter." And just kind of like gets up, walks around, embarrassed as fuck that he had actually just walked into a brothel thinking it was a temple. He's like, "Well, that was. I think somehow along the way, this is Bahamut's cruel joke for me taking advantage of such a lewd experience."
As you're walking out, Ceravel and Tharaval sort of walk past you, and she's like, "Come back soon now, brother. Come back." And they're like they know exactly what it is, where you've been and stuff.
Laravel sort of nudges Ceravel and is like,
And then he just says, "I could perpetuate the rumor that it was all three of us in one room," and just brazenly smirks and then leaves.
"Man of the cloth, eh?
Yeah.
Whose cloth are we?
Many.
A loin cloth?"
Just walk, but you can hear him like almost like boomingly cackle out as he opens the doors to the street, and just like continues walking down, almost bursting to say the words, "You only wished." And then decides to get it.
Okay, we'll move on to Tharavel and Ceravel, since they're sort of you're wandering around sort of aimlessly looking for, are you actually looking for a library, or are you sort of...
Yes, we actually are looking for a library.
Okay, so roll me an investigation.
Seravel has good investigation. Oh,
Oh, nice. Okay. Seravel basically just takes, he knows exactly where to go. I'm not, if he's been here before or, for whatever reason, he basically beelines straight for the local library. It's not a massive place. It's, it's not one of the grand libraries that you saw in Taunt or in Alamore or any of the other big cities you've been to, but it has, it has books. It's, a smallish library, but it might have something you're looking for.
So on entering, the twins approach the person at the desk or the front, and say, "Good morrow, bookkeep," or sorry, "Good morrow, bookkeep. We are interested in finding information about the local area and the surrounding areas as well. We have heard that there is a temple to the west."
East.
East?
Yes.
Sorry, it was the temple to the east?
Yeah, temples to the east. Yeah.
Temple to the east, and some ruins to the north, and we wish to find out more information about these areas. Would you have anything?
He sort of goes, well, okay. And he sort of kind of pushes up his eyeglasses and he says, well, if you want geography, there is a small section over there. And he sort of kind of, this is over to this sort of kind of slightly disheveled looking shelf with sort of some old maps and scrolls and things in the corner.
The two of them nod and thank the man, and head over to the geography section and start looking for information.
Okay, roll me a investigation.
With advantage with two of them?
Yeah, go with them.
Yeah.
Okay, so you find some old maps and things of the local area, and you sort of it shows you the surrounding villages. It shows you the big temple complex called the Sanctuary of Devotion, which is a large temple of Bahamut, dedicated there by the Order of the Morning Star. It's well fortified. It's from the pictures you see, it's quite a grand place. You then have the ruins of Stormwood, which used to be an old. How am I going to do this? Stormwood. I haven't really thought of any history behind Stormwood. I've just named it. Let's give us.
I literally just sort of went, interesting things happen in ruins. I want to find out more about that.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll sort of we'll throw up and say, it used to be. It was one of the sort of there was a battle fought there just before the Portal War and during the Portal War between Elathlia and Kyrelia. To sort of take control of the gateway towards the portal itself. There is rumors that there is a way through the Galhatil Tass, which is the name of the mountain range, and the Ristha mountain range to get past into the sort of the portal Aberath, or the plain of Aberath. There, obviously it was fought over and destroyed within that, and the surrounding area was just left by the Order of the Morning Star as a sort of beacon for what war can do, and it is just being left. You get sort of few bits and pieces. You look around the library stating that there may be great treasures there, and there's some sort of old magazines that sort of talk about ghosts and ghost armies that live in this sort of mountain town. Where did he get that from?
What say you?
What say you?
Okay, so yeah, they basically sort of absorb in some of this information and everything like that. There's nothing that really sort of jumps out of them. The mention of the temple, they sort of look at each other and sort of snigger that Brother Gadon might sort of be interested in this, but we may have to tell him it's a very large brothel.
Cerebral says yes, but I think you might want something different.
So basically, yeah, they sort of do their research. Do they have an idea? Did they find any like sort of maps of the local area so they can find their way about, or?
The town, yeah, you can like if you want to go anywhere within the town, you find a local map. So if there's anywhere you need to go, you can sort of find it. Yeah.
Yeah. So they basically they'll leave the library and thank the bookkeep on their way out.
Are you bringing any of this stuff with you?
Whatever maps and things they've got. But again, if they've got any lore that it's just been read, if they can.
As you're sort of kind of leaving with these things under your arm and stuff, he says, "Are you a member?"
We are not.
Yeah, so well, you can't take the books then. You're not a member. You got to fill out a form. You got to become a member. Right, let me get my thing out. And he sort of kind of gets like this big, massive thing, pile of paper, and like his quill, and says, "Right, name."
Darvel sort of laughs and says, "No need, my friend. We will leave them here. The maps of memory will do. Thank you for your time."
He sort of kind of goes, looks slightly disappointed that he's not going to get to fill out this massive form because he's got nothing to do. He says, "Are you sure you want to be a member?" Please.
Serval sort of nudges him. And it's like, go on. It's like, Tharavel, Graderick, Eldan.
All right, so he sort of his eyes light up and says, "All right," and he starts copying. "Oh, it's a very unusual name." And he's just like, "We don't get many elves in here, you know." And he starts like yabbering away to you as he's filling out this huge sort of like unnecessarily big application form just to get some books and things from the library. Okay, so we'll leave that there. We will move on to Lance. Oh.
Yep.
So you are. What are you doing?
Well, I'm off to locate the premises where I believe a representative of the order should be found.
Okay, so you sort of take yourself off to, you don't know. Actually, just roll me investigation. We'll go from there. We'll see where you know. 16. Okay. You stumble around and you sort of don't find anything initially, but then you eventually sort of come across what looks like sort of possibly some civil buildings, sort of government buildings or something along those lines. You sort of walk up to one that has a guard standing outside, and the guard sort of has a sigil of the order on his tabard.
I reach into my pocket and remove my symbol of rank that I keep as a reminder of my time.
Yep. He gives you a salute and says, "Welcome to." Oh crap! I've forgotten the name of the city again. What are we called? Whitewood. Welcome to Whitewood, sir. What brings you here?
I am with the party and I'm in need of potentially some information. So I was wondering if I could talk to someone, a senior member of the local detachment, just to see if they can recommend me and tell me where the best place to go is, based on who's currently about and where we're deployed.
He says, he sort of looks at, he says, not many of us are here, sir. I guess Sergeant Alexis could help you. And he sort of says, he's in there behind his desk.
Not a problem. Thank you very much, sir. And I do appreciate the help.
He says,
And,
no problem, and he sort of gives you a salute and then sort of carries on standing.
I return the salute and move past him.
So you walk into a smallish sort of building with a few desks, and you see a quite well built, not armored, but sort of still wearing his sort of tabard, quite well dressed. He obviously, you can tell he's a sergeant. It's all sort of, everything's sort of creased properly and in the order it should be. And he sort of looks up at you quizzically as you sort of walk towards him, and is about to sort of maybe give off to you as you sort of kind of walk in.
I smile and come to attention before the desk and place my similar rank on the desk before him.
He sort of he realizes, and then sort of kind of jumps up and gives you like a really straight sort of like salute, and says, welcome, sir. What can I do for you?
I hate to interrupt you when you're obviously being kept busy, since there's only a small presence here. Myself and my companions are seeking to strike a blow against the enemy, and I thought in our travels I wanted to stop off and see if I could liaise with someone at a higher ranks that could possibly help me with some information, so that I can make sure that we're pointed in the right direction and doing damage.
He says,
we've made our way this far.
He says,
I obviously wanted.
He says, sir, Whitewood's not exactly the pinnacle of order business. You'd need to make your way down to the bastion in the south. It's pretty dangerous down there at the minute, sir. The enemy are getting close. Or you could try the. Trying to think. I'm just trying to look on the map here where we've got sort of.
Who's present at the sanctuary currently?
He said, "Yeah, the archdeacon might be there. One of the archdeacons might be there, and obviously he's got a retinue of guards. That sometimes it was visited by Guard Captain Girk a few months back, apparently. But I'm not sure if he'll still be there or not. But yeah, you could definitely find somebody of rank there. That will be, though, about... I'm going to see how many we got. 5, 10, 15, 5, 30. That'll be about 2 days. 2 days walk from here, though.
We could possibly work with that. Thank you very much, Sergeant. Have you had any trouble recently around in this area?
He sort of kind of looks slightly offended that there would be trouble in his watch and stuff, but he says, no trouble, sir. Everything here is as good as it can be. We had some recruits coming from Kyrelia. Can't say I've thought much of them, to be honest. Lots of scrawny boys going to their deaths, but we need the men, don't we, sir?
Some of those boys may turn out to surprise you. At the end of the day, so many of our finest people did start out as scrawny boys who did not know what they were doing.
Indeed, sir. Indeed, sir. Right you are.
But at the end of the day, we all must do our duty. Is that not true?
Indeed, sir. I agree. And he's sort of still standing to attention and looking straight forward.
At ease, Sergeant.
He says, thank you, sir. And he sort of puts himself into a sort of an at ease position.
Thank you for your assistance. Are you sure there's nothing I can help with while I'm here?
He looks at you and says, no, sir, unless you want to tangle with some local brass who are sort of causing some issues in the red light district. And he sort of kind of feels slightly ashamed of even saying it. Then, but yeah, they're no bother. they keep the men entertained, I guess. But yeah, we got nothing major going on around here.
That's good to know. At the end of the day, unfortunately, men will be men. Obviously, I don't have those concerns, but over the years, I have observed that such things are not necessarily welcome, but they are a useful safety valve that avoids things going wrong in barracks, correct?
I wouldn't know, sir. The missus would murder me if I even thought anything other than that. You know, I'm a good what's the religion? What would Bahamut be? What religion would it be? Like it's like no
You could just say
Christian.
God-fearing.
I'm a God-fearing man, and plus I'm a wife-fearing man as well, and I wouldn't find anything in there, sir. Wouldn't go there.
I laugh and say, of course, Sergeant, I did not wish to in any way impugn your marital loyalty.
He sort of gives you a sort of a sly grin, and there's sort of inference that maybe he wasn't so maybe in my younger days, sir, but not now. Not now.
I would say we were all young once, but I'm pretty sure there's a few NCOs that would probably assure us they were never young.
Indeed, sir. Indeed.
I pick up my symbol and put it back in my belt and say, I'm not sure how long we will be here, but should there be an issue and you need an extra pair of hands or 3, maybe 5, then please do let me know, and I'll try and send word when we leave.
He gives you a straight salute. Thanks you for the offer of assistance, and asks for permission to carry on with his desk duty.
Absolutely, Sergeant. It looks to me like you've got plenty of paperwork waiting for you.
Indeed.
I'm absolutely delighted to get back to it.
He says, I'd sooner be at them down south, but unfortunately, and he taps his leg, which you notice does not exist anymore. I can't be in the front line anymore. More's the pity. But admin is a great role. These places need to be sorted. I guess supplies come through here. That's what I tell myself anyway.
At the end of the day, Sergeant, we need people we can trust. And you being here means that somebody who might otherwise try and make an excuse can serve at the sharp end. I think you've definitely paid your dues on the sharp end of the spear.
He just nods at you this time.
Have you back home every night.
Yeah. Cheers, sir. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah. He gives you sort of kind of stands up quickly again, gives you a salute, and then sort of watches you as you sort of leave the establishment. Okay. Arno. Roll me investigation. Yeah, you sort of walk around town. You're not really fine. You see what you think could potentially be some bar or some pubs or inns, but you're nothing sort of jumping out at you. Nothing's you're not finding anything of any major interest.
Okay. Slightly disappointed, but obviously he's not too hopeful. There are a lot of taverns in this land. He'll walk on and sit or stand in the corner of the town square and just watch the people in front. Are there any children or beggars or
yeah, there's not many homeless in the area. It seems it's there's busying people around. There are some kids sort of kind of playing and a couple of being mischievous as kids are. Nothing of any major note.
Okay, he'll watch them for a bit, and as he walks through and walks past, he'll flick a silver coin to each child, and tell them not to tell their parents.
The kids, like, their faces completely light up. It's the most money they've probably ever seen in their entire small lives. And they sort of kind of look at it and go, and look at you and go, thank you. And then they sort of kind of run off to one of the local sort of like stalls and start sort of pointing at things, and sort of the other ones sort of picking up one of the sort of dolls, and they're sort of like very excited.
Excellent. Arno will smile to himself, stroking his fake goatee, and stroll off, trying to see if he bumps into anyone else in the party.
Okay. So I guess does anybody else want to do anything before we start converging things again, or is there anybody wanting to do anything?
No, good.
No, I'm good.
Ronnie's pretty happy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you make your way, you respectively make your way back to the sort of kind of center of the town. You one by one sort of appear. You see Saren sort of kind of just with her, back against the wall, watching people in the square, and Tharvel and Ciravel turn up with like a big pile of maps and things, and Ciravel's sort of holding this little card with their names on it, and sort of kind of laughing to himself. Lance sort of comes back. Everybody sort of kind of makes their way into the sort of kind of the main square where Saren is. Unless Brother Gaddon, you're still in and around trying to find temples. And
No,
things.
he's gone back. No, he's gone back.
Okay.
Yeah, the moment that he does walk in and he sees that Ciravel and Tharavel have got maps, he just gives the biggest and toothiest grin and says, "Well, normally I'd say take me out on a date before we do it, but I guess maps will do."
Ciravel and Tharavel laugh and sort of hand the maps over and says, "Did you find what you were looking for?"
No, I didn't. I was actually looking for a temple. I was definitely coming into a temple, just any quotation marks, but it's not the temple that I would normally use in practice, if you get my drift. And besides,
Ciravel sort of puts on quite a posh thing and says, "Thou protestest too much," and sort of says, "Yes, it was an interesting establishment that you found yourself in, Brother Gaddon."
It was actually. And if you really want some fun trivia, he just leans into Ciravel's ear and says, "They've never done it once," and just says, "Yeah," and just leaves it at that.
Ciravel sort of looks at him and says, and he looks at the map and he's like, "According to this map, you were in the Temple of Tits."
I know. And never once did I even touch them. Well, forever faithful, Gotta keep yourself sharpened,
I lean in and quietly say, "I hear they give the breast advice."
No, I
Darren's
did.
just stood there like that, like, oh, for God's sake.
I did kind of have to walk out there quickly in case I made a boob of myself. So, anyway, the jokes could go on.
Roll me a perception check.
Everyone.
Everybody can roll. Yeah, everybody roll me a perception check.
Okay, cool. Shit, son. Where are you? Oh, I'm actually good at this.
11. You got a fail. Did you get another? Is
Yeah,
it,
crit fail. No, it's not.
It's
what's
not.
gray?
That's fine.
What's gray? What is gray?
Gray is it doesn't meet. It just is neither. It doesn't meet yet.
Okay.
Oh wait, it's set for advantage. Sorry, that's what it is. So the gray is the disadvantage. Yeah, no, I got that. I'll fix it now.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So, Tharaval, while you're sort of kind of talking to while you were talking to the rest of them, you notice a familiar hooded character lurking on the opposite side of the square, staring at you.
Amongst all the sort of jesting and jokes that are being made about the Temple of Tits, Tharaval sort of hushes his friends and says, not to alarm everybody, but I don't think we are exactly alone. I think we have a follower friend," and sort of nods his head in the direction that they are.
Is this
Yeah.
that friend that leaves notes on people after you stab them?
Do I recognize the?
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Is it the same? Is it
How
not
did he
friend?
follow us?
Not a friend. Is it not a friend? I just need to know.
It is not a
Oh.
friend.
Okay, cool.
It
Turns
looks like
round
we have the gentleman, the true killer of the halfling from Alamore.
How far away would you say he was?
yeah, I was gonna say.
You're on one side of a square, he's on the other, sort of, he's sort of obviously stealth, but, you know, Tharaval's has sort of kind of spotted him. He would be, I don't know. How far is, I don't know, it'd probably be about, I don't know, about 20 feet away.
Awesome. I manifest a echo right behind him and tap him on the head.
Okay.
With what? With what? Your hand. Oh, shit.
23 strength 23, dude.
Your big wood.
Okay. So you manifest an echo behind him. And what are you doing? Sort of you're just tapping him, are you
Smack him
hitting?
in the head.
You're gonna smack him on the head. Roll me a let me just bear with me a minute, let me just check. I'm gonna have to roll a perception for him. I haven't got any stats for him actually, so I'm just gonna roll.
That was careless.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll a d20, but I'm gonna give him a plus.
Something.
Not on a 1, he's not. Yeah. You got a crit fail anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, he's sort of very intently looking. He feels like he's completely hidden, so has no anticipation of your current, your impending attack. So you can give me an attack with advantage.
Just a strength roll or
Attack with advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do an attack with advantage.
Unarmed strike, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got a profile for an unarmed strike, that was all.
Is there? Oh, just give me a. What is it? Strength.
Yeah, it's a
Just-
strength.
Just give me a strength.
Yeah,
Just roll strength. Yeah.
It'll be your proficiency bonus plus
Yeah.
your strength mod.
Yep.
I think it's enough.
Plus your-
Yep. Okay. So, he doesn't even see you coming. He doesn't even turn around, and you literally just boom. You Andre the Giant them by you just sort of pop him on the head, and he falls to the ground.
So we go and have a chat with him.
Yes.
Probably.
Let's.
Tharaval and Cerevel rush over, and before he has a chance to sort of wake up or move, they search his person and remove any nuts.
So you take
Take that as you will.
Yeah, you take all of his sort of components from he's got like a little spell pouch with bits and sort of things in it. You find some shells in there, and you
Hands them over to Barty.
Yeah, you take over. You get some. He's got some weapons with him, and you tie him up, I guess, and take him off somewhere. Where do you want to take him?
No.
You want to
I
secrete
mean,
him
take
in
him off
Barty's
somewhere.
ring?
We could just. No, wait. Arno's ring. Barty's ring? Barty has a ring?
I pick him up and throw him over my shoulder and look around for a tavern that might have a private back room we can rent.
Tharball takes out the map and goes, "There's a tavern here," or
Yeah.
he can still see the maps.
Yeah, so
And-
we there's a close by tavern called the what are we going to call it? It's called the Shaggy Boar, which is sort of
I
round the
just
corner.
rode over and I kick the door open. As I walk in, I produce my badge of rank and say to the landlord, "We need to borrow your back room or your cellar, whichever one is most convenient."
All right, Gav. Yeah, no problem. And he sort of kind of points you to the sort of it's effectively like the dining room for the inn itself. And he says, "I'll make sure nobody disturbs you." Sort of gives a strange look to the pile of people coming in, and but doesn't question you because obviously of your rank.
Or the
Gadden repairs the door with mending on the way out, going in, and just looks at the landlord and says, "Thank you," and begging your pardon for our intrusion.
Okay.
Arno looks at
So
Gadden
you
and says, "You might want to take a look at Lance's backpack."
I charge for that service. He just laughs and walks.
Arno says, "I'm sure he has enough."
Okay, cool. Just-
You broke it, you get it mended.
He's not an elf. Gadden's not interested.
Anyway, I
Oh,
stride into the
pushing
dining
loud.
room, look around for the sturdiest looking chair, and drop the bundle onto it.
okay.
And then undo his bindings and redo them, binding him to the chair.
Okay. So you bind him to the chair. He's still unconscious.
And I then step outside, look for a door into the stable yard, and go and fetch a bucket of cold water. The pump.
At which point, whilst what's it? Whilst Lance has gone and done that, he has a water skin, so he's just gonna like. He could have just used this if he wanted to, but
I
then
want
afterwards.
nice cold water. Got a bit of shock here, you know.
Brother, the colder, the better. Trust me.
I'm not complaining. You gotta do what you want.
While he's doing this, Tharball and Cerebel put a blindfold on him.
And
Oh.
Saren will take out her dagger, just not to use, unless strictly necessary. Just kind of holding it like menacingly.
I've got what's it called?
Guileless
fla-
nostalgia.
Flashbacks of tied up people being murdered in back
I was going to
cellars.
say, I want them to wake up and I can say, "Oh, I can remember what happened the last time I interrogated somebody."
Yeah. That being said, there's been because there was the time mage as well who got unceremoniously murdered for as well. Okay, so you come back with a big bucket of cold water and you chuck it over him. He sort of
No, you got that wrong.
oh, okay.
Oh, he's
I
going to
come back
waterboard him.
with cold water. I pull a rag out of my backpack and I lean the chair backwards against the table. I drape the rag over his face and I slowly pour the water over his face.
Oh God! You're straight up waterboarding him. Can you do that? Are you able to waterboard? Are you? Is that against
If
your?
he can't, I will.
I was just gonna say, is that in your Is that in your sort of kind of character, sort of to do such a thing?
Tharball
I
Tharball and
absolutely
Cerebel sort of step
my
back
head
like,
to someone.
"What the fuck?"
If he can't, I will.
Remembering, waterboarding is not killing; it makes you feel like you are.
I'll point that you waterboarding somebody. One, you don't know this guy is nothing to you other than what they've described to you, so he's not like he's hurt you or anything. Going straight to waterboarding based doesn't seem like a very sort of.
Wait,
We know that he killed someone as a way to send a message. Yep, an innocent person. Otherwise, and he's also powerful enough that he has followed us after we teleported a fairly large chunk across the continent, correct?
Yeah, I'm trying to picture Lance, and you're generally quite sort of straight laced and.
But my point is, I'm doing something here, which won't. I'm not going to physically injure him. I'm just doing something that will wake him up and scare the shit out of him to try and get him to be cooperative quickly.
Okay. Okay.
And-
Fair. Okay.
DM, remember he just straight up decapitated that town guard. So this is nothing.
Yeah.
That is true. Actually, he did just kill that guy for no reason whatsoever.
Oh, he had a
He
reason.
was having a bad
this-
day, and he was not, and he'd been threatening people. I'd sworn to protect. Remember?
Okay. All right. So
Lawful chaos.
You waterboard this guy, and he's obviously blindfolded. He splutters. You just hear him sort of spluttering and coughing and mumbling.
And I turn to Cerebel and Tharabon and just go, shush. And I turned and I just simply lean down and say, you seem to be someone that's very big on sending messages and gets around. So my question for you is, who are you? And why should I not stick your head in the bucket that's still half full? If you give me a reason, because at the moment, you seem to like killing random innocent people, and you seem to be powerful enough to move around quite quickly. So I'm feeling like you need to give me a reason not to treat you as a threat.
Um.
I'm going to go for intimidation there.
Okay. Yeah. Roll me into.
I'm feeling like I should probably get an advantage on that as well.
Yeah. Go on. Oh, no, why did I say that? Why did I say that? Damn it! That could have been so much more amusing. Okay. Yeah, okay. He doesn't know what's going on. He hears quite a sort of kind of angry voice sort of making threats. He's being waterboarded. He's like, who are you? Where am I?
Stop asking questions. I'm here for answers. And I grab a handful of the water and I dump it on his face again.
He sort of coughs and splutters a bit more, and he says, they call me the Jackal of the West. My name's Gregory, though.
You seem to be following some people, and you seem to be quite fond of randomly killing people to send messages. Who are you working for?
He doesn't say anything. Roll me another intimidation. He's completely, the whole experience is a bit too much for him. And he basically says, look, I work for Lord Andril. Yeah, I work for Lord Andril. You'll recognize the name, Arno.
Is this the?
This is the Lord who you pilfered from. I'm here to. I'm just here to. Two things, just to get some bloody imp and get a cup and nothing. And I'm just sending a message. Just doing my job.
Arno steps forward and he casts suggestion. So the guy needs to roll a wisdom save, please, on DC 20.
Okay. He passes.
He failed. No, he failed. I said DC 20.
Yeah, so it's an 18 plus his modifier.
Oh.
Bastard.
I guess Arno wouldn't know this, that he passed, so he will still continue, and he just says, "For the remainder of this interrogation, you will tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. What did you want with the halfling we found you after in Alamore?" By the way, Arno looks completely different now. Obviously, he's still the size of a halfling, but he doesn't look like.
He's blindfolded anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So he doesn't know I'm speaking.
Yeah.
I'll say that. What did you want with the halfling? We left in Alamore.
He says, "I was hired to kill the bugger." I can't remember. Shit, I've forgotten the name of the Lord
Andrel.
Andrel. Yeah, Lord Andrel. Let me write this down one moment. He says, I was hired by Lord Andrel to kill the bugger. Stole a lot of money from him, apparently. When I was in Alamore, I was told that by one of the local thieves that they also had some sort of relic and get a bit of money from it. So I thought I'd kill two birds, literally, with one stone.
How did you find him?
He says, "I have my ways. I'm the Jackal of the West," he says quite proudly.
Darren will take her dagger and rather than sort of hold it to his throat or anything, she'll just place the flat of it on his hand so he can feel that there is a blade involved and nod at Arno to carry on.
Roll investigation. Not investigation, sorry, intimidation.
Please work. So I'm trying to.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
He says, "I know a few tricks. Spent a few times a few years in the Mages College. I've got a few spells that can help me find people."
Oh.
Arno is silent at this point.
I think about it and I turn to the others and raise an eyebrow at Arno and just quietly lean forward and say, "Any more questions?"
How did he track us in particular? Might be.
Well, if he
And Arno will just, he'll be silent and then he'll blurt out, "Has Lord Andrel been reported to of your success in finding the halfling in Alamore?"
So no, I haven't killed another one. Framed 2 elves though. Silly buggers.
Arno says, "Are you alone?"
Yeah, I only work alone. Can't be a good assassin if you don't work alone.
Arno looks back at Lance very sternly, and he just shakes his head.
I shake my head as well, and I take the cloth that I had over his face, and I place my hand across his mouth, and hold it there so that until he passes out.
Okay, yep. So we'll just say he passes out from your
Asphyxiation.
asphyxiation. Yeah.
And release it when he stops. When I'm pretty sure he's out. I turn to the other and say, "Oh no. You seem to be a magnet for trouble, and it's spreading. I can take care of this problem at least temporarily, and have the order detain him, and hopefully that will keep him out of contact, especially if I warn them he's a magic user. But how many other people will be looking to fulfill that same contract? How badly
Lord.
did you cock up?"
Arno is breathing fast and heavy, and he just says, "We needn't report anything."
You know, silence is not gonna help.
Right. If we don't
Oh no.
We have other things to be worrying about. If we just leave a trail of bodies in
Yeah.
my hometown or my home area, that is not going to help.
Oh no.
You saw him
We-
teleport onwards with us from Almor. What's to say that he cannot do the same to evade the grasp of the
The Order
forces
has
here?
methods. If I warn them, they can take measures.
I don't know. You said suggestion. Do you not have a memory modification spell? Or better yet, Barty, do you have a memory modification spell? Shouldn't be too difficult.
I do not possess such a thing.
Oh,
Could kill
dear.
him.
Neither do I.
We could kill. Yes.
Tharvel and Cerevel sort of listen to Barty and nod and say
Sarah
agreed.
nods as well.
Arno says,
I'm already over here. Look, I've already got the blade. I'm already over here.
Ceravel, I would say, would be. He's like, we are wanted for murder, brother. He might be able to clear our names.
Yeah, I was going to say, Serval is
Um,
right.
Well, Cerevel, he sort of sees the logic about getting their names cleared, but he also makes the point that that the jackal himself is a murderer and needs to be executed.
He's a murderer himself. But look, you need to do two things with two birds with one stone.
As murder happy as
he-
I am, we are not judge and jury and executioner. As much as I would love to send this guy to his maker for framing you, we are not the ones who should be making that decision.
Similarly,
And believe me, I want to.
Similarly, if I take him to the Order and explain, they can detain him for his crimes. They can also have him appropriately clear your name so that we don't have to worry about that particular claim chasing us if we go back the way we were previously.
Would
And
your
they can take measures.
would they be able to get further information from him, perhaps?
It's entirely possible, but the time that it would take would be not great at this point in time. But it may help later on.
I would, Arno. I would say, you would be interested in the fact that he can track people, which may obviously be of interest to you trying to find your brother.
Arno, ask Saren who's there. It's like, pat him down, see what's on his person.
I think we already stripped him.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
stripped him.
Oh, have you got his bits
Wait,
and
you removed
pieces
his nuts.
set aside?
Yeah, you've
Right,
got all his
we
bits.
have.
He's pretty much in his gruds, and he's not sort of.
Has he got a spell book or? You said he had a
Components.
components pouch.
Components
Yeah,
pouch.
or
Yeah.
any
I guess he'd have a sort of small grimoire or something of some sort. If he's he's not a full magic user, but he's sort of sort of multi-classing. I guess you would have it.
But he's like a sorcerer or a wizard. Like you don't, because not all magic users are the same, are they? Like I've got a spell
I
book.
haven't
but-
put a lot of thought into it, to be
Trust me.
honest. So whatever you sort of kind of, you sort of,
Okay.
it was just somebody to piss around with you.
Sort of thing.
I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting you to knock him. I wasn't.
Um,
As soon as you said how far away is he, I was just like, I'll try and make it not sort of like super close. And then I thought 20 feet is far enough. I wasn't expecting him to be knocked in the head, but yeah, I haven't put a lot of thought into his sort of background. He was meant to pop around a bit longer than sort of two sessions, but it is what it is. So he can be whatever you want him to be.
Well, if he has a spell component pouch, he is definitely a wizard.
It would make sense.
Yeah.
He doesn't have innate.
Has he
ability.
been? So basically, would Barty be able to tell if he's being cast in scry? Like, has he got like a little crystal ball or a pearl?
Yeah,
like a
Oh,
little thousand
yeah,
jewel
you-
piece diamond.
Yeah,
or
you
something?
you find a little sort of crystal-y ball thing.
Ooh.
Right, yeah. Is it crystal ball? Yeah, I gotta say you should either take it. And he goes, I have a. I was gonna say I definitely wanted a focus. Oh no, actually, he's got a focus. that's quite similar. So he just looks at it and compares it to the guy, what the guy had, the jackal has, and he goes, "Yeah, he has he can scry, because my focus had just spent one grand on it, and it looks very similar to his."
I
Fuck.
say we either
Does it
take
look
it
sim-
or break it.
I'm gonna take it.
Arno, would this
Hey.
be of use to you?
I don't know. If this is how he found me, then maybe
No,
it
no,
will
no, no.
come in use.
Before you guys go to it, let me educate you quickly on what scrying does. Because first of all, you need to know the spell. It is an incredibly high level spell. And secondly, the focus is expensive because it allows you to find a particular being, but you need to have an item from it. So, I don't know, he has something of yours.
What else is in his clothes? What
He
What
he
can he
picks
possibly
up when you're looking through his bits and pieces, he has a what was it you were? What's the story? The backstory behind you stealing stuff from him? Were you working for him, or did you sort of?
No. So I'll uncover that later. But basically, just running a scheme because Arno had a thing against pompous, rude nobles. Has a bit of a Robin Hood element to his.
Okay, yeah. So you would say you've probably been arrested or something in your time, and he's got a
Oh, I never got arrested.
It's a likeness or a picture of him.
I got caught by them, by the Lord and his people, and I used my powers to escape.
Yeah, okay,
They
so
would have had their hands on me at some point.
Yeah, so somebody's taken, we'll say they've taken a, what would they have taken from you?
So if it's first hand and he's met the creature, he could have taken anything that belongs to him, which can include a body part, a lock of hair, nail, anything like that. And if it's not that, then it'll be a likeness or a picture of him.
Yeah, so they've
or a
just,
position.
they sort of, in the scuffle, they've got some of your hair.
Yeah, that's fine.
So he's got a piece of hair on him as a way to track Arno.
Yeah, and when you look through his little bag of components and stuff, you do find a sort of some hair, which is similar-ish to your color.
Yeah. Arno looks and he says, "Do my eyes deceive me, or is this different hair?" And he shows it up to anyone that will look.
I mean, it should look
It's
like yours.
very, very, very similar to yours, Arno.
Yeah, but then if
But it's
just
more reddish,
alarms
is
me.
it not?
But then it would suggest then that if he's got a piece of hair that's yours, he's finding you. But if he's not, then he's finding somebody else. How many pieces of hair are there anyway? And how does he know which one's which?
Arno stuffs the hair back in the component pouch and basically takes the component pouch onto his person.
Okay. Well, in any case, he won't be able to find you again because he no longer has a component of yours. So
He has no focus, so
Mm.
that should affect his other spell casting.
yes. I would
It's
just. This is a bit dark, but Saren, do you remember that one time that you came in to the second tavern, the second time we met, and you told me that you'd had to stop a caster from following you by breaking bits of them? Do the same thing. Yeah, stop them.
I do recall, yes.
Would
So,
you,
do it.
would Brother Gad, are you lawful? Well, I suppose you might do, actually. Are you lawful good?
Oh yeah, I'm lawful good, and he's like he won't do it himself. He'll
Yeah.
recall it, and he won't do the act
Yeah, okay.
himself.
Just saying, because you got like in that paladin, in lawful good, you can kind of justify certain things in certain ways.
Oh no, in cleric you can justify this as well. This is the greater good.
Yeah.
And so the way that he'll probably spin this after is because so we can't have anybody else interrupting us on our mission. We need to get Draken's body. Meanwhile, he is a little bit of a distraction. So let's just cancel the equation out, shall we? By doing what you did earlier on. Wink.
I can. I mean, how much do we want to do this? I can break his kneecaps.
No, it has to be
What's
hands and
going
tongue.
on?
Yeah, hands. Hands.
Oh,
It has
just
to be
hands. You weren't clear,
No.
brother. Come on.
Well, I didn't know because you told me you stopped him from doing it, and I know that when you cast spells, it's somatic.
I
Damn.
withhold things for your delicate sensibilities.
Oh please! I just treated a giant gash from you. I could see your whole entrails coming out. That was fine.
Different. It's different.
Okay, to the point.
Roll me a perception check,
Who?
Who?
everybody.
Okay, fine.
Oh God.
Bam.
If he's
Is
going
that
to cast a
picking me
spell,
up?
I'm going to cast
There we go.
a spell immediately.
Okay.
Sparkle.
Tharaval,
Yeah,
you notice Bartholomew. It's just
That
Wha-
falls a 20. And, he's my
Portent. Using portent.
Portent.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
waste. I wouldn't waste it. It's not that important. You don't need it. I'll not
Thank you very much.
I'll not make you waste that 20. Okay. Tharaval, you notice Gregor looking a bit shifty, and then sort of unsheathing Huthway's bane, or at least sort of going to sort of take the sword out as you're sort of arguing with each other about breaking this guy's hands. He sort of
It's terrible that saw that.
Tharaval, and he sees Gregor sort of kind of moving towards the guy in the chair, the Jackal of the West.
Terrible. Good
I was gonna say, it's like, do it. No.
It's like in what's it called? It's like in Deadpool where he's got the guy in the boot of the car and he's
Tharaval sort of he has a bit of a flashback moment to whenever he killed Gilus, and although he still sort of justifies it in a way, it still sort of troubles him. So he part of him wants Gregor to. He knows what he's going to do and he wants him to do it, but at the same time he knows the sort of anguish it's going to give him afterwards. So Tharaval sort of steps forward and he just puts his hand out and says, I know where you're at, Gregor, and I know what you want to do, but I promise you it's not worth it.
He says,
he can still be of use to us.
We can't let him live, sir. I've lost too many of you. This man has power. He needs to die. I need to kill him, or one of you might go. And he gets quite emotional about it and stuff, and he says, step aside.
Arno turns and holds his hand out. He's like, no one wants to see this man dead as much as I, Gregor. But they are right. Now we have his components and his focus. He cannot track me anymore. If we kill this one, Lord Andril will just send another.
Possibly a stronger one
Uh,
too.
Tharaval's kind of interested as to how he managed to get the hair of in the first place. I have an inkling.
That's a very good point. Sarum that's
I'd
good idea.
Tharaval again. He sort of looks at Gregor and he looks at Ceravel and Arno. He says that we also have reason for this man to die. We are wanted for murder, but we need to clear our names, and he needs to be brought to justice in a lawful way. If that is done, he will die, but not by our hands. Besides, I think he has more to reveal to us than we yet know. Let's see what else he has to say and what.
Well, let us decide on what we wish to know, rather than rouse him and pelt him with 1,000,001 questions.
He could, if he's a jackal and he is good at finding people, he may be of some use to us.
He may have connections.
There's no point in us dragging him around. We are.
Oh,
on
I
a
wasn't
timeline.
suggesting that.
So, might I suggest instead, as I said, I'll hand him over to the Order and warn them of his abilities, so that they know to keep an eye on him and keep him separate from any potential components or material. And I'll warn them of those things we know he has done, and those things that he may also have done on top. They will liaise with random cat alert down here. They'll liaise with the appropriate authorities, and they'll make sure that he's held responsible for his actions. We can continue with our own duties, and you won't have to worry about him coming after Arno. He will have plenty of other worries on his mind.
Before we do that, I do feel that we should find out where he got the hair from.
I have a
'Cause if
feeling
they-
Arno could tell us that.
If they got it from Arno, they could easily get it from any of us.
No.
Arno kicks his feet around shiftily and says, "Yes, all right, I know. You need answers.
Yes.
Not now.
I
Maybe later.
don't want to do this here in case he's faking his condition.
Very well.
Eh?
Then let's get him
Taken care of.
incarcerated.
Yes.
Tharvel sort of looks to Lance and say, I would prefer not to transport him. Can we get the order to meet us here, and we can hand them over? I
The
prefer
order is
us being.
short-handed in the area. I'm quite happy to take him, and they know me and they know who I am.
Then let
Kind
us
of a
make
big
sure
deal.
he is fully bound.
Yeah, we will make sure he's properly secured.
We'll
But
hog
we
tie him.
have nothing to fear from the locals. They are, from an area that's fairly safe. They know that the reason for that is because of the order. They won't make problems in that regard, and the garrison will clear any queries they have. But the sooner we have him incarcerated, the sooner he is out of our hair.
Make sure they gag him though if he's been teleporting. All he has to do is utter some words and he's free again.
I agree with Barty. I would feel more comfortable if we were to remove his teeth. I've seen what he can do with some nuts.
Or his tongue.
Or his tongue.
I
You-
turn back, and the cloth that I had over his face, I simply fold and tie behind his head so that he's thoroughly gagged.
Thank you. Much
Oh,
better.
no.
You lot are absolutely inhumane sometimes.
I give Gadden such massive side eye. Like, excuse me?
Arno says,
Gadden and say,
you should not go alone, Lance. I suggest the magic user accompany you.
Barty, would you be okay to accompany me?
Yeah, I could do with the walk. And he'll take the spell book. I was like, I'll glean whatever secrets he's got hidden in here and see how he's been operating.
Very
You
well.
should learn crying from that.
I mean,
I intend to.
Darval and Cerevel also wish to go because they will obviously have to show their faces, basically to sort of go along with the incorrect accusations of murder that have been.
They won't
set
have
upon
received
them.
those accusations around here. We've travelled too fast for that, but so you don't have to worry about that particular part.
But we can send word back again.
Yeah, but I could do that through them if you don't. If you're that worried about it. Sure.
Are you happy for Arno to have taken that crystal ball?
Barty would need it if he's going to learn to scry from the
Yeah,
spell
but
book.
for now, I mean, like,
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Just don't
I'll
break
put
it.
in my inventory.
And don't
Make
leave it
sure
anywhere
not
with
to throw
the
it to you.
curtains open unless you cause a fire.
Saren will
So-
look through
If he-
what's left of
young
his
then.
armor and what have you to see if there's anything interesting in there.
He's got let's see. He's gonna have. You'd have to have a half decent assassin's blade of some sort. So let's give you. Let's see what he's got.
So he's a blade dancer.
He has
Um,
got.
Dancing master?
He has got.
Adam? Is he a dancing master, do you think?
No, he's a dancing queen.
That's lore. That's items. What are we gonna go for? Ooh, what's this? He's got some wrist blades.
Ooh.
That's going to make someone very happy.
Yeah.
Wrist blades.
Yeah, so he's got some wrist blades. So wrist blades, slashing, finesse, light. We can maybe sort of we can probably we can sort of tinker with them if you want later on. But yeah, for the time being, you've got some
Loot channel. We'll worry about it off screen.
Yep, there's some
Yep.
wrist blades. Okay. I want. So it was Tharval who tried to persuade Gregor. I want you to roll persuasion because he didn't roll. We haven't. I just want to check if he's decided on his action or not. Yeah. Okay.
I think that worked.
Yeah. He's yeah. He's sort of. He agrees. If he failed, I was gonna still try and kill him, but no. He's suitably persuaded not to go down that path and sort of shrinks back into his normal demeanor and sort of just listens to everybody else sort of squabble about what's happening.
Actually, there's no squabbling from Gadden because he politely ushers Gregor and Arno to the bar, if there is a bar in this establishment.
Yes.
And he
there
says,
is.
"We are going to have a talk, all three of us."
Gregor looks slightly worried, but he sort of looks at you, slightly ashamed of the idea he was going to kill somebody. He says, as you wish, my lord. I meant to do good by the Lord Bahamut.
And then he just puts a finger on his mouth and says, "Wait until you've had a drink, and then you can explain yourself." And then looks at Arno and he says, "Saren, do you want to come or not?"
Yes, you can leave me behind like chopped meat. Seriously?
"No, I'm not gonna leave you behind.
You
I
owe me a
just didn't
drink."
Want to." "I do. Okay, fine. I'll get the drink. Drinks on me. But come on, let's go."
Fine.
And then just let the others escort Mr. Jackie Jackerson.
So where are
over
you
there.
taking the Jackal of the West? Where's he going?
Taking him back to the garrison.
You're taking it back to Alamore?
No, I'm taking. Oh,
No.
sorry, I'm taking him to. Yeah, but I'm taking him back to the sergeant.
Oh, okay.
Asking,
Okay, right. All right. So you're just it's you and Barty. Is anybody else?
And Saravel and Cyril went as well.
Sarahville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're gonna. The rest of you go to the bar. They sort of make their way out carrying this gent on their shoulder. Lance, you're carrying on the shoulder. You sort of make your way back to the sort of the outpost, or I guess the sort of the garrison, and you get a salute and a sort of strange look from the guardsmen in the front, and then sort of you make your way into the where the desk sergeant is just sort of finishing off some paperwork.
I walk in and smile and say, "Sorry to interrupt you again, Sergeant, but I'm afraid we may have accidentally brought some trouble your way, and I was wondering if I could seek your help in dealing with it."
He sort of he jumps up again, gives you another salute, and sort of looks at the unconscious man on your shoulder. Of course, what is it you need?
This gentleman is some sort of assassin or hired blade that goes by the name of the Jackal. He apparently was was asked to take care of a problem with someone, and managed to get the idea it's one of my companions. He seems to be a magic user that can teleport and scry, and he set up my two companions here in what was the city name?
Alamore.
Alamore.
In Alamore for a murder by planting evidence on them. I was wondering, we've removed his focus and his supplies, and I was wondering if possibly you could arrange for him to be taken into custody somewhere better able to deal with his abilities and better able to identify the more than the undoubtedly large list of crimes that he has committed in his time, so that he can be held accountable for them.
He looks at you and says, "Begging your pardon, sir. Permission to speak."
Of course.
He says, "There's only me and Private Jones here at the minute. There's not many of us. It's not an active area. We don't have many. I'd have to, we can't take, he sort of looks at his leg again. He says, I'm a glorified pen pusher. I can make a request to get some support from the bastion in the south, or maybe even from the watchtower in the west, but we've got no capability of dealing with anything like this."
Very well. Do you have anything that would...
He says, I can get a runner, and he'll be back in a couple of days with somebody."
How about you send the runner now, and I will talk to my companions, and we'll see if we can identify a good short-term solution to secure the prisoner, so that he can't cause any trouble.
He says, "Right you are, sir." He says, "Jones, get in here." He says, Jones sort of stumbles in and says, "Yes, Sergeant." He says, "Send off that boy runner, get into the bastion, and to the watchtower. We need some men here, ASAP." "Yes, sir." And he salutes and sort of takes himself off.
I turn to Barty and to the brothers and say, "So we can stay here for a couple of days, which obviously inconveniences us and delays our mission. Or I suppose we could look at finding a more permanent way to deal with him, but then he may not be able to be questioned properly, and therefore he won't be able to confess to the crimes he's done. Do you have any suggestions, Barty, in ways that we could render him safe for a few days?"
Not in any way that will leave him available for questioning, unfortunately.
Turn to the sergeant and say, "Sergeant, is there an apothecary in town, or some sort of a herbalist?"
Yeah, there's old woman Harrison in the market district. She's a bit of an apothecary.
Saravel, would you be okay if I stay here with Barty to keep an eye on our guest, to go and see the lady and see if she can recommend something that could keep him relaxed for a few days?"
Ludes.
It would be our pleasure. So Tharvel and Saravel take themselves off to the apothecary.
Okay, so yep.
I am obviously he's tied and bound, and I look around, and I notice that the roof has open beam construction. So I take another loop of rope from my pack, loop it around his ankles, and throw it over the beam, and then tie it to a convenient location so that he's out of the way and sufficiently inconvenienced should he decide to cause trouble temporarily.
Okay, so Tharvel, Saravel take themselves off. They sort of use their map and they find the old lady Harrison, who sort of, "What is it I can get you, young men?"
Greetings. We are looking for a potent potion elixir that will incapacitate a large person or animal for a prolonged period of time.
She sort of gives you a look and she says, "You're elves, aren't you?"
Your eyes do not deceive you. Yes, we are.
She says, thought you would have known about Athusis oil. But yeah, if you've got some Athusis oil, that can sort of render them slightly... that can render them slightly incapacitated, like you said. I've changed the voiceover, but anyway.
Yeah. Tharabal sort of looks at Saravel and sort of, he's sort of like, oh, of course, from the Enclave. I don't know if they had any left.
You don't have any left.
Of course, you're correct. We've had use of this Arfusis oil before. Would you have any that would be available for purchase?
She says, "Oh, that's quite a rare. That's quite a rare item right there, my love. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Let me have a look." And she sort of kind of starts rummaging around her little stall. Then she starts sort of naming different components and things. And she says, "Althusis oil. Yes. I think this is Althusis oil. Label's slightly rubbed off, but yeah, this is Althusis oil."
I'm going to cast insight, I think. Yes.
It's as far as far as you're concerned, she thinks it's Althusis oil.
Do you have anything else that you know? 100%. This is for a matter of something that we cannot really risk. And I think.
So she's like, "Well, okay. All right." So she sort of rummages around and she says, She sort of has, she gives you a,
All of hemlock.
gives you some liquids. I'm gonna go for I'm gonna give you a Evil Dead,
Nightshade.
an Evil Dead sort of thing, so you just drop some of these on his tongue, and that'll send him straight to sleep. Too many though, and he might sleep for a very long time. So it's 3 drops for each day you want him to be out. Like, make sure the drops are specifically, and she sort of kind of gives you this little like seed. It says they have to be this size, any bigger, and he's going for longer. So just be careful.
Latu, Narata. So very understood. Oh, I've just realised it. Ceravel and Tharavel sort of look at each other and go, "We don't actually have any money to pay for this right now, but we can get money to you, unless there is any favors that we can do in."
God, again.
Your eyes light up. Wow. Oh, it's
Well,
been a
proper
while. 2 strapping young elves who want favours from me.
Fucking, it's not Newton's cradle anymore. It's Elvish cradle.
Elf sandwich again.
She sort of looks at you and roll me a persuasion trait roll. Yeah. Okay. She says, "All right. Think you're honourable enough. Just make sure it's gonna cost you. I don't know." She gives you like it's gonna cost 50 gold or something like that. Just make sure you bring it back. I don't make lots of money, and I can't give my stock away for free.
You'll have my word.
And so she hands it over to you, and you take it.
So they go back to Lance and the guard and hand it over.
As you're sort of walking past, Ceravel says, "What other was it 3 drops? 4 drops? 3 drops?"
3 drops, the size of the seed.
Are you sure?
We should have wrote this down.
Roll me a history check.
Oh god, this is gonna be bad. Come on.
You're not sure if it's 3 or 4. You're not 100% sure how many drops. It's 3 or 4. You're kind of.
Just told him.
Huh?
You just told him.
I know, but yeah, I'm throwing in something just for shits and gigs.
Alright.
Why not?
He's going to sleep for a while.
You ruined it by knocking him on the head straight away. He was meant to be pissing around with you guys for weeks, not like just not knocked out in session
It's
2.
not the first
He
time I
appears.
played it.
So yeah, okay. So I'm just having a bit of fun with it. So yeah, okay. You're thinking it's 3, but it could be 4. You're not sure.
So they get back to the guard and Lance, and they hand over the elixir, and so they say it's so three drops the size of this seed.
No, Serval says no. It's 4. It's 4 drops.
Yeah, and then Tharavel says 3 or 4 drops. For each day, we wish him to sleep.
So I turn to the sergeant and say, if we secure him, are you okay to administer this to him every day, and one of you keep an eye on him until your reinforcements arrive?
Yes, I guess. Any trouble though, I'm not going to be much help, to be fair. But I guess Jones is here. We can get some of the local militia, maybe.
He shouldn't cause you any problems as long as you're administering the drops. And and should it come down to it while he's restrained, if he causes problems, or if you think that he is trying to cause mischief, then I'm afraid his corpse will have to stand trial. He's a very dangerous person.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that they're fine with that. They're happy enough to sort of administer 3 or 4 drops to this guy, and await await reinforcements for him, I guess.
Tharavel, Ceravel say, whatever you do, don't give him any nuts.
He sort of gives you a strange look and says, "Okay, yeah, all right." Anything else?
Barty will cut off a small lock of hair just for insurance.
Of his hair?
Yeah.
Okay, no problems.
Just in case.
So I secure him to a very sturdy bench by his hands and his legs and his back. I also retain some stout cord from the supply cupboard, and I individually bind all his fingers together and his thumbs into a mitten so that he can't use his digits to do any sort of actions that might cause issues.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Yeah. Guess I'll put a pin in this fucking guy. He had so many plans for so many plans for this guy.
I mean, you can still have so many plans,
Just plans for a corpse.
or plans for him to be broken up by more than another one. The jackal runs in the pack, as they say.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll see.
Stop giving him ideas.
I
I
like
think you need to
ideas.
be helping out here. The
Oh,
jackal was meant to be a fun thing.
he was.
Yeah, for him.
I had envisaged of him it kind of being like a what's it called, Battlestar Galactica thing, where he'd sort of everywhere you go, he would
Nice
sort of kind of just
Boltar.
sort of turn up and sort of do things. As you would move along, he would sort of follow you around and sort of shit would happen and things. But there you go. It is what it
Follow us
is.
around like a bad smell.
Okay, so that's it. You're waiting. He's waiting here to get reinforcements. You've told him what they need to do with the chap.
We're off to the we're off to the was it
The-
whatever
the temple.
yeah, the temple place.
Yeah, so you're going to the Sanctuary of Devotion in the east. So that is 1 minute, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 miles away.
Gadden wanted to go to the tavern.
Yeah, we're in.
Well,
We're
we're
at
in the
the bar.
tavern. Whilst we will be at the bar whilst this is happening. We can roleplay this out if we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah. I don't expect it to be like something we can deviate from. And then obviously, if we are going to that place, then we will probably do that. We can do that next session or during in roleplay, whichever works.
Yeah, so you can RP the bar, the Sanctuary Devotion. Well, it's going to be another. I guess sort of gives me a bit more time to sort of. So what are you going to do in the Sanctuary Devotion? You're going to try and find a sort of senior member of the order, and ask for help.
Which they can help. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can help us with information or advice or other resources.
It might be worth doing that in RP as well, to be fair, because I don't want to get too bogged down and moving back and forth just to get information and stuff.
Oh no, exactly. But
Yeah.
we can always try and deal with that offline if everyone's being cooperative.
Yeah. Okay, we might do that then. We'll sort of do that part, and then we can sort of move on wherever we would get to. Then we can sort of kind of move on. We'll see where we go when we get from that point.
Yep.
I guess. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Okay. I guess we can leave it there. It's 11 o'clock.
I have a request if everyone can stay on a few more minutes.
Yeah.
So
He's just frozen.
No!
For
Pause for dramatic effect.
Pause for dramatic effect.
oh, sorry. Hello,
He's back.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought you did that on
Gadden,
purpose.
No.
Ultimate troll.
Gadden, what were you wanting to talk about in the tavern?
So he's gonna get him to tell the truth. What happened?
Arno. So if we
Gone again.
see that, Arno will be adamant that he knows answers are needed, but he wants to give them to everyone.
Okay, fine.
Would you be okay with that?
For
Like
now,
at that point. Okay.
he will.
So I'm assuming everyone will come back to the tavern and
Yes.
and meet, and then Arno will get a room and ask everybody to come into the privacy of the room for a chat. And if everyone sort of goes along and there is a room, he'll
Yeah,
start.
there's a room.
He'll start in the private room, ritually casting Liamon's tiny hut. But I don't know, Barty. I think you have that spell as well. Can you cast it in a non-ritual fashion?
Yeah.
Okay, so you probably will see what Arno's trying to do. You'll recognize the spell, and maybe you'll be like, "Oh, I can do this quicker." If you're happy to blow a spell slot.
Yeah, skip to the end.
Skip to the end.
Ba-doop-ba-doop-ba-doop. Yeah.
Okay. So what
Space
this
reference.
spell is a dome of force appears around us, and everyone who's within when it's cast is under complete protection will sort of make the outside opaque, and once we're in there, Arno will just
Silence.
look around silently, and until someone undoubtedly prods him and asks him what's going on. So he sort of sits down.
Do you have
This is-
something you need to share with the group, Arno?
Listen until I'm finished. I know what you all think of me. You believe me to be secretive, fearful, and a coward. And frankly, I do not care what you think. But I will tell you that you are wrong, at least in part. I am no coward, and there is only one thing I truly fear. Secretive I have been, but my reasons for this are plenty, and in truth related to my fear. It is no secret to you all by now. You have seen inside my mind. You know about Kivi, my powers. This is something I have protected since I met her. Everyone I ever met, or have been close to, has died, or left. You tell me it is not my fault, but I cannot accept that everything would still have happened the way it did without my involvement. You do not need to readdress this. I will come to terms with my loss and my responsibilities. But for the first time in my life, I have felt something differently. Well, the second time. Not since my brother have I had somebody that stood by me. Someone that I trusted as a true friend. And you all have stood by me through everything we have been through together in a short space of time. You have not given up on me. You have believed in me and fought for me and with me. You have not discarded me, no matter that it would have been the easiest option. You have remained loyal, and you have shown no interest in outing me or revealing my secrets to anyone else. And this is something I did not believe until it happened, and for that, I am sorry. I realize now that no matter our differences on matters and perspectives, I can truly consider you my friends, close as my family. I am done hiding from the truth and my past, and I owe it to you to share my past with you, just in case it continues to catch up to me. My real name is Jarek Hansel. I grew up in the town of Pinecrest in Cragmere with my brother Cyril. My mother died when I was young, and we were cared for by my father. Well, cared for is a stretch. He was a wicked being. When we were not being beaten, we operated a life of minor crime, stealing while my father entertained and sold snake oil, moving from town to town. One day, the inevitable happened. We were caught. Well, my father and my brother were. I hid, watching them get taken away. When I regained my composure, I tried to track where they had been taken, but failed, and the place was crawling with the town watch. So I fled, intending in short time to be back to find and save my brother, and yes, I have not seen them since, and live with my decision to hide instead of staying with Cyril every day. Believe it or not, in the years that followed, I made my ways in my trade and was, and indeed still am, an accomplished musician. An opportunity arose and I was enrolled in the Bardic College of Eloquence, where I spent 3 years before realizing it was not the future I had imagined or wanted. It was around this time chance had me find a ring in an old discarded lute that I intended to fix up and resell. A voice called to me, and I first saw the beauty of Kivi. She knew my name, She was beguiling and promised me much, with not much ask in return, and I pledged my patronage to her. After all, I had nothing to lose, and only the hope of reuniting with my brother one day to live for. I know you are wary of her, but she has been good to me. I wanted not for anything. I kept on the move, often in disguise, and adopted the moniker Arno Jerkor. I had power and the protection of a demigod. Not everything I have done I am proud of, but ultimately I am a good person. I do not believe in the abuse of the poor or the weak, and would time to time put the pompous and wealthy in their place with a scheme or two and my silver tongue. Anonymously, of course, except for one occasion. I was too arrogant, and was for the first time caught unaware while running a scheme, robbing the wealth of a fat pomp named Lord Theophilus Androl. I had no choice but to use my powers to flee, outed for the first time. As I was chased and wrestled, he vowed to hunt me down and have me quartered once he found me again. This is who I believed may have been after me, and we have now had confirmation has found me. But it seems perhaps our war against the corruption was one I never really cared for in the past. For the corruption I find most toxic is that corruption that is all around us, that potential within every man in this godless land. Fate led me to perform for the Triarchont, who was suitably impressed that he demanded I accompany him and his forces to uphold morale on their venture to the fortress of Kiberath. Alas, much to my protest, I'll have you know. But here we are. I followed the guidance of Kivi. For some reason, she wanted me to go. She's wanted me to follow this path. And my meeting with the old man, Bahamut, he told me to stay on this path as well. I have considered leaving many times in fear of more loss of more people I care about. But I am not leaving. I vow now to remain until we complete this quest, wherever that leaves us, reclaiming Draken, cleansing the corruption, whatever it may be. I will continue to look for my brother, a quest in which I have been given renewed hope. Should I find him before or after our venture together, it matters not. My allegiance is to see this through together, to the end, or to the death, or both. And at this point, he sort of looks up sheepishly and then looks back down.
Give that man an inspiration point.
Woo! Well done. Very good. That was awesome.
Yeah, man, have an inspiration point for that. On me.
Thank you. Thank you.
I walk over to Arno and put my hand on his shoulder and say, we all have our crosses to bear, and we've all made our share of mistakes. But we try to look past those because we know that we're not perfect ourselves, whether we were born or made. But please do not keep secrets any longer, because it will poison you and it will make it hard for us to trust you. And ultimately, that would be your undoing more than anything else.
I know. No more secrets.
He scoots up. Gone.
I walk over to him and I put my hand on his other shoulder and say, not once have I considered you coward. You are my friend. And I know you are as devoted to cleansing this corruption as we all are.
Thank you.
Oh. He pushes a pint in front of him. Hello, Jarek.
Hello, Gavin. Although, I would ask that you continue to call me Arno.
We won't say anything unless, of course, we're in the privacy of good friends and company. But having said that, it's good to see your finally true self out there. I didn't want to say anything. I just know your type. They come to our temples all the time. They seek solace and forgiveness for the shit that they've done. And you just accept it and you let them walk on because at some point, sooner or later, they'll come to the tavern, sit down, and spill their guts out. And then, and only then, can they feel a level of catharsis more powerful than a god could ever bestow blessings upon. So yeah, it's a good. Well done. I'm glad you're here, finally. Welcome to the game, the actual game. So, I'm hoping to see more fire and electric, passion and performance. Because I hear bards of the College of Eloquence know more ways to slip anything off a person with their tongue. And just grins at him, leaves it and says, and I'm not being flirtatious, I'm just saying that they're very good at getting what they want.
I'm
Oh,
sat
I
here
know.
shaking my head at him.
Arno smirks and says, "You're not my type anyway."
Don't flatter yourself, I wasn't even imposing it. Jeez.
He likes elves, remember?
You don't know.
Arno
Well,
actually laughs.
see, well, if I like elves, Aaron, this is why you keep me as company, huh?
Don't flatter yourself.
Exactly. This is good, though. This is good. I'm glad. This is healthy. And contrary to the belief, do what you need to do. There's secrets, no secrets. I know it's poisonous. Lances can tell you this, but we all walk our journey.
And thank you for what you did for me.
I wouldn't have done it for anybody, but you're welcome.
Anybody else got anything to say, or what?
Arabal just raises a glass and says to our new friend, Arno.
Jarek.
Arno.
Arno.
He would prefer to be called Arno.
I have changed your name to Jarek. Would you rather to keep it as
No,
Arno?
no, it's staying as Arno. Yeah, there's too much history with Jarek. He'll continue being Arno.
For now.
They know the truth now.
Oh, I changed your name.
Yeah.
That was going to be a bit. It was like, alright, and at the end, Jarek Hansel. Fine, I guess.
No, we're still Arno Jekyll.
Yeah.
When the hubbubs died down and Arno's getting a little bit less attention from everyone else, Barty will approach him and just casually hold him on the shoulder and goes, "Come now, take a seat. Tell me of your brother and I'll tell you of mine."
Oh no, you two are gonna kill me. I'm not here for this. It's 11:20.
Offline.
Yeah, we're not getting into it.
No. We can sort of
Foreshadowing.
fade into the dark.
Fade to black.
Anyway.
Arno would share memories
Roll credits.
of his brother. As we roll credits for today.
Very good,
Nice.
very good. Cool, yeah, man. Brilliant. Glad you stopped us from going for that. That was very well thought out. Again, give yourself an inspiration point for that.
Thank you.
So yeah, well, that's a good place to leave it. As for downtime, I guess we'll carry on, see where we get to within the Discord chat. And everybody who's watching again, there should be a link for the Discord within the description. And you can check it out on the Tulos, which is the Legend of Our Sacrifice RP, campaign RP. You want to have a shifty of what people are saying in downtime. Otherwise, you can just get the quick reminder of what happened in the next session. So, we're there for tonight. I've been Mark Geary. With me has been it's not Jarek Hansel.
It's both.
It's Conrad as Jarek Hansel / Arno Jerkel.
Good night, friends.
Michael is Tharvel Eldon.
Good night, everyone.
Jace is Brother Gadden.
You've done your duty, citizen.
Lecky is Bartholomew Pringle.
Oh, someone's been chopping onions there.
Marcus Lance.
Should have just patted him on the head after his confession, shouldn't I?
And Vic as Saren Sanguine.
Toodaloo.
Night, everybody. Bye.
Right.